What's up? Who's that? I see two sets of eyeballs. Who do we got? Come on in, guys. Grab your coffee. Come one, come all. Come see Jojo, the dog-faced boy. Hey, there we go. Come on. Stop swiping. Come here. There's girl in the mirror. Good morning. Magandang umaga. Hey, I got a question. Sal! Hey, brother. That was quick. Sophia. Chombo. Girl in the mirror. You know the 30-second timer that is in the brand? It's morning over in the Philippines. Evening here on the East Coast, USA. Anyhow, that 30-second timer, girl in the mirror, I don't have that anymore. I can't find it in my brand or under banners. What happened to it? It's not here. Yeah, it's gone. And this is a paid subscription that I'm paying for. It's not under brand, theme, logo overlay, video clips, or background. Just not there anymore. What happened to it? So I just downloaded another timer. My son found one online, and I just used it. It looks like this, but it's not the StreamYard timer. Let me show you see, I got this timer that he just found for me. That one. But that's not the original timer, that comes with the StreamYard platform. So anyhow, I'm wondering why I can't find it. Hey, Sophia. Try to upload what again? Yes, I am. The not the basic, but the next one. I think the pro plan or you think that's why? Because it doesn't make sense. If I'm paying, you think it would still be there if I'm paying. Or maybe it disappears if I'm on a plan. Sophia, where are you? What part of the world do you come from? I don't know, girl. Uh, months ago, the timer disappeared and I never got it back. Focus my self. Well, maybe it's only available on the basic plan. When you purchase a plan, it disappears. That doesn't make sense. You think it would, you know, be included if you're paying. So, anyhow, Sophia, are you still there? Sal, where are you, young man? Well, anyhow, I found a timer, so I'll use that one. Oh, you're not? Oh, well, that's good, I think. Sal, thanks for finding me, coming on so quick. That was nice. And thank you again for last night. That was comedy. I didn't realize you were that humorous. I was just telling my wife about uh, the guy last night, and I was telling her about you understanding what he was. What was that? Uh, that organization, PCP 343 or something. And when my wife heard PCP, she goes, "What is it? A drug?" I said, "No, it's not PCP, but I can't remember what the letters were." SCP. That's it, honey. Honey, it's SCP 343. See, SCP 343. And then I was telling her about, and then this other guy, Sal, he knew what the guy was talking about. And I'm like, no, Sal, don't jump ship. Don't go toward the light. He apparently knows what this other guy's talking about. Uh, Orlando, another Filipino, kumusta? Kumusta ka na? You hear that, Sal? Kumusta? It's the same as Spanish, como está. It's their variation of the Spanish greeting, como estás. They spell it Kamusta, kamusta, or for short, musta. And ka is you, so it's how are you? Mustaka or kamustaka. So Orlando, Ancho, and Girl in the Mirror, they're both in the Philippines. Sal is in Canada, and I don't know what happened to Sofia. Chombo, I'm gonna guess she's in Africa, just based on the last name. There's a few that come in here from Kenya. I got connected to some Kenyans that live stream, and therefore I get some return viewers from Kenya. That's just a guess with the last name Chombo. So, Sal, what's new on a Monday night? Are you getting a little bit of rain up there as we are in the summer afternoons and evenings? I think that music sounds a little loud. What do you think? There we go. Yeah, a little bit of rain. Actually, it's really nice out right now. My wife and I just took a walk just down to the corner and back. Umbrella just in case, but it didn't. It was just super cool. Not super, but considerably cooler and clear skies, so it was nice. And what was for dinner? Cruz. There he is. And Cruz is in Mexico City. Uh, Don't try to pronounce his name. Just call him Cruz. Cruz the security guard. Sal, right above you, Cruz. He's up in Canada. We got Filipinos and myself, an American. Sophia was here and she disappeared. You know, I'm gonna think of a medical story. Um, See if I can entertain tonight with a memory from another memory from a medical that I ran on. Sometimes all it takes is for you guys to just comment randomly, and something somebody says reminds me of a call that I ran. Cruz says this September they will give us what? Finally, fire weapons. No way. And they're going to send you to class for it? Thank you, girl. And training to go along with that, of course. Well, that'll be a little more security for you, a little more confidence with being able to protect yourself. He says, I guess military friends will be off the market, so it will be just us. Oh, I remember you told me you do have military as backup. If you need them, you just call them and they'll come. And they're going to be, now it'll be just you full time. So they're going to give you weapons. This September, so soon. Any more information about the class or the training yet? Will the military train you or your own employer? Cool. Do you ever get to practice your firearms by yourself on the side or at the range or anything? Somebody just asked me that same question. And unfortunately, I don't. I have the ability to. We have two ranges here in town. And the last time I went was probably 6 months ago. And then I haven't touched it since then. Campfire? What is called campfire? Sorry. Oh, Campos de Tiro? What is Tiro? Tiro. Is that fire? Oh, to shoot. They just call it uh, a shooting range. RANGE. Sorry. RANGE range. It's a pay indoor shooting range. With multiple lanes, next to each other with the dividers. They issue you if you have your own firearm, you can use it, or you can rent their weapon and ammo and ear protection. Yeah, they have. That's what I was referring to. They have one indoor and they have one outdoor. I've been to both of them. More. Yeah, the outdoor ranges allow, a little more, especially rifles, shotguns, ARs, etc. Good evening, good morning, good more night, as they say. So, off the shooting subject, Sal, if you're still there, uh, did we ever talk about your uh, interest or hobbies, Sal? Trying to remember. I don't remember. Oh, cool. Oh, are you uh, self-trained, or did you grow up with some formal knowledge of music, uh, guitars? Yeah, I got introduced to the musical um, circles in junior high school, and then carried it into high school as a percussionist. Oh, your friend taught you, and you as well, Cruz, music, military, and martial arts. Nice. What music general, music history, Cruz, or do you play an instrument? Yeah, I was a drummer, a percussionist. Okay, Cruz. No problemo. How do you say hurry back, Cruz, in Spanish? You play guitar, flute, piano, and a Cuban instrument called the tresillo. Oh, I'll have to look that one up. Is it tresillo or tresillo? Um, what did I say? I asked you. Vuelve pronto. I forgot more. You were in Spain. You're in Spain. Duh. Yeah. How do you say hurry up? Hurry back. Vuelve pronto. Oh, tocada en telever. Okay, which one is better? More. You have a Spanish uh, a true Spanish speaker and a Mexican. Tocada is hurry. Yeah, like I think that's a musical term. Tocato. Yeah, tocada. Tocada and a ver, video. I'll put it in by the sound. I can tell you if that's my video. Yeah. Oh, you can search on YouTube, you said. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, I see. I play guitar, flute, piano, Cuban instrument called tresillo. Oh, you said you can search that on YouTube. I see that instrument. And then, gotcha, gotcha. I follow you. So, more, if you were to translate that to English, vuelve pronto and tocada en telver, is that the same expression? Hurry back? Or am I confusing tocada en telver with vuelve, vuelve pronto? Oh, okay, 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 okay. Thank you, more. That's the thing. Got you, got you, got you, got you. Imagine that. Get all confused through miscommunication or inability to speak Spanish. I got you. I got you. That's the name of the video. Okay, okay. Okay, so I'll try to remember that. Well, vuelve pronto. Hurry back. A gig? Well, that's yeah, like a music performance. A gig. You know, I don't even know where that word came from. I don't even know if that's English. Gig, other than a gigabyte, but a musical gig, that's like a musical performance or a an appointment at the at the on a stage is called a gig. Yeah. I'd have to Google that. Where did gig? It must be shortcut for some word. A gig. A I don't know. Oh, tocada in Spanish means gig. Oh, musical performance. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, my Espanol is muy poquito, but I love I love hearing it and being able to remember and speak it back. Now, what about andale? Is that more slang or hurry? Ándale, ándale. Is that a true Spanish word or? Cruz, were you here? It's not a Iberian expression. Andale, it's like, come on. Oh, I thought, oh, you mean all those years? Andale was, yeah, I guess it is. Like, come on, come on. Andale, andale. Okay, I stand, my memory is, I was thinking hurry, but it can mean, right, with the expression, if you're with the body language and you're trying to tell somebody, let's go, let's go. Come on, come on. Okay, okay. Got you, got you. Love turtles. Let's see, I'm zooming in on your profile. What's that say? Something galactic. Pulled up pulled up to France? I don't know what that is. How you doing, turtles? Good morning, good morning, good evening here. Good morning in Spain. Well, no, girl, gig is more like a place or a performance. Um, if I said, I have a gig tonight, meaning I have a musical performance tonight. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Apurale? 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 Oh, it's I love her. Oh, okay. Oh, the your profile said the Galactic Empire just pulled up to France. And where is that from? I'm not familiar with that expression. Oh, the Galactic. I know the Galactic Empire is from Star Wars. Oh, okay. But I like back to the hurry up or hurry back. I like Moore's um, vuelve pronto. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Vuelve pronto. Yeah, vuelve pronto. Oh, gotcha, love. Gotcha, gotcha. Apúrate, apúrate. Rápido. Yeah, rápido means hurry up. Okay, right. I was asking what is like hurry back when you said you had to go walk your dog, and I was like hurry back. What would be the expression for hurry back? More in Spain said vuelve pronto. Oh, in the movies? Oh, that's right. I have heard that before. Apúrate, apúrate, apúrate. Oh, apúrate or apúrale? Apúrate, apúrale, rápido. Now, now, now. Go, go, go. I see, I see. Apura, that's Filipino. Term nagmadila apura, hurry. Well, now you know you know, girl, that your history is Espanol. So that's why, the other day we were at a restaurant and I was asking the waiter or waitress, how do you say that in Spanish? and she was saying it, and I'm like, what? You know, okay, no. And she was repeating it, and my wife like chimed right in and told me what she was saying. I said, how do you know? She says, because we use the same word. And I went, oh, that's right. You speak Spanish also. So it's the same word in Tagalog. What was that word, honey, in Spanish at the restaurant? The lady was saying and I couldn't understand. Althea, hello? Did you hear me? What was the word in the restaurant? The lady was teaching me in Spanish and I couldn't understand, and you repeated it because you said it's the same at the restaurant for breakfast. Yeah, she's thinking. She forgot. How do you say in English the military chants that drill sergeants yell while they are marching? That's funny you asked that. That is called a uh, cadence, not a cadence. Yeah, I guess they might call it a cadence. Um, a military cadence, although cadence means that's a percussion term. But let me think. Let me think. What do they call the songs that they sing? Like Sergeant Beverage turning green. Someone peed in his canteen. Like that. Those songs that they sing. Yeah, yeah. Sound off, 1, 2, hit it again, 3, 4, bring it on down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, trying to think. Do they call it a cadence? It's a military term for a beat. You know, in drums, a cadence is what we would play as we're walking down the street when the band isn't playing. The drummers are keeping a cadence so that everybody can walk in step. Um, well, you can post the link. Let's see if I make you a moderator. Hold on a second. I need to make you a moderator. Let me get a phone. It's a lot easier. Jordan, can I use your phone real quick? Your phone. Let me make you a moderator, Cruz, and you'll be able to post the link, and then people can. Um, I'll be able to possibly share it on screen. But let me give you a moderator, and then you'll be able to post the link, and it will be clickable. Hold on. Stand by. Okay. Stand by. All right, there you go, Cruz. You when you can post a link now. Your name should be in blue. What is that? Máquina de guerra, Máquina de muerte. So something about death. There we go. Yeah, let me see that link. You know, more. Are you a moderator also, more? Yeah, you are already. Okay, okay. You left your home, drill sergeant? Sergeant drill? No, it's drill sergeant, dear. Where'd you go, Sal? And more, are you still there? The V is pronounced like a B. Correct. Yes. Actually, when I was saying it, I was I was reluctant to pronounce it with a B because in the Philippines, their central region of the Philippines is Visaya, Visaya, but they pronounce it Bisaya. And so sometimes I'm corrected by those in America, Filipinos in America. And although when I'm speaking Spanish, I do pronounce the V as a B sound. I imitate somebody. I've been listening to people speaking Spanish, and I recognize they pronounce their V sounds like a B, and so I just try to imitate what I'm hearing, and so B is more correct. So gotcha. So if more like vuelve pronto. Gotcha. I had to scroll back and read that. Yeah. Nagmadali apura. That's hurry. Nagmadali apura. Apúrate. Apúrate rápido. Rápido. Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, I don't hear from you guys for a little while. I know I'm having a conversation with others, but I don't see your comment, so I wonder if you're still here. So just checking, taking a roll call, Sal. Did you post the link? Oh, there it is. You posted it. Let me let me go there. Hold on. Now, why didn't that post as a link, bro? It's not clickable. Oh, here it is. No, what did you do wrong? Why is that link not clickable? Can you guys click on that? How come I can't click on that? It just says go to channel. I think that'll just take me to yeah, you did a copy paste, but for some reason that's not clickable. What happened, girl? Why is his link not clickable? Hmm. Yeah, I can't click on it. I think it turns blue when it's clickable. Click on share. Did you click on share and then copy the URL that it gives you, or did you just grab it from the address bar? It shouldn't matter, I don't think. That's weird. I'm not sure why it's not clickable. Let me try one and see the difference here. Um, hold on, bro. Let me grab one from my video and hold on a second. I click share, copy link, and I'll just paste this live stream and see how it comes up in the chat room. Yeah, why am I not able to click on that? What in the world is going on? That's weird. Okay, I'm confused. Girl in the mirror. Why am I not able to? Are you able to click on it, Cruz, or more, or girl, others? Can you click on that link that Cruz is dropping? Are you able to click on it, Cruz? Okay, this is weird. It's like I'm not able to click on it. What in the world's going on? Okay, Cruz. Yeah, that's bizarre. Setchman, you're not able to click on it, Setchman. What am I? What is not um, set correctly? That the URLs are not clickable. Why not? They should always be if you're a moderator. Help, Setchman. Welcome. Oh, you're back. I see your profile. It's what's his name again? In the car with his son. What is the name again? We were talking about it. Playing that cartoon over in Iraq. Family Guy, or is that what it is? Family Guy. Hank. It's Hank. Don't they appear in each other's, like Family Guy and I mean Hank Hill and Family Guy, and there's another. Isn't there a third one? Don't they both play each other's or character, or are they completely different characters? King of the Hill. That's right. I thought there was a couple of those animated shows. King of the Hill. Yeah, a few times Hank is in Family Guy. Exactly. I love it. Oh, I got you. That's what it was. Like a cameo appearance. Hey, there's Josh. Josh, Isan. Setchman, where are you? Maybe you told me before, but I forgot. Yeah, my I was talking to my wife about last night and the craziness that was going on. Oh, you're in Ontario. Very good. Maybe I did say Sal is your neighbor over there in central, wherever he is, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, one of those two. Ison. Okay, okay. Ison. I wonder if he'll be back. What was the guy's name last night? The SC PCP SCP 343 guy. What was his name? Uh, I forget. It was a Pakistani name or a sorry, Afghani name. Armin, that's him. Armin. Yeah, Armin starts with a S, doesn't it? His last name. It's a longer. Uh, didn't he say his mother and father was from Afghanistan? Because you were telling him you did tours to Afghanistan. I was rehashing it with my wife this morning. She's asking me questions. I said, I don't know, but I thought I was following him at one point, but then he kind of went way out in left field. And then all of a sudden, Sal's like, "Oh," he said he didn't call him dude. He's like, "Dog." No, you called him dude and then dog and then girl. I know who you I know what you are. I'm like, "What, Sal? What? You're keeping me in suspense." I told him sorry it was business. Oh my God. Oh, and the first thing my wife said, like, what kind of drugs was he on? And I said, exactly. We were asking him the same thing. Here, speaking of, I knew something would spark a memory of mine. It's kind of off the medical side of stories, but it was a there we go, kind of had the light kind of. It was a personal experience I had. I was trying to remember. I think it was like a Friday night after work when before I was in EMS, emergency medical services. I um we went out on a Friday night after work. I worked the like 4 until midnight. I guess it's called swing shift. And then afterward, sometimes we'd go bowling or whatever it was. We'd go out. The guys would all go out together. And I think it was after a Friday night we were going home, and I think it was at a bowling alley. As a matter of fact, that's what it was. And there was like a transient kind of guy inside the lobby. Gosh, I remember now. As we were leaving, there was like a homeless guy just getting out of the weather, getting out of the rain, and he was hanging out in the lobby. And the owner or one of the employees, was asking him to leave. You can't be loitering. And he was just pleading with the guy, just a little longer. It's cold and wet outside. I'm just in here getting out of the rain. And I understand that, but sorry, it's against and they were going on and on. And I was leaving and I decided to ask the guy, "Hey, do you need a ride somewhere?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, if you can." I said, And I looked at the employees. I said, I got him. So he went out to the car with me and got my car, and I said my goodbyes to my friends and decided to give him a ride home. Well, that was my first mistake. But so I'm driving him home, and I remember I was driving like downtown San Diego. This was in California. And next thing you know, I'm like in the old part of downtown San Diego. It started getting kind of sketchy, part of town. And he was just driving me like aimlessly. I realized, okay, I don't think he really has a destination. He's just telling me, turn right here, turn left, go straight, here, make another right, make another left. And we were just going aimlessly into nowhere. And he just wanted to talk, 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 and going down one rabbit hole after another, and I was like, okay, this is getting weird. And he was getting me pretty nervous. And I finally I had to say something. And right in the middle, he just wouldn't stop talking. I could barely talk. And I raised my voice and I interrupted him. I said, dude, listen. And I pulled over onto the side of the road. I said, where are we going? And he kind of like backed up and he looked at me like he was kind of surprised that I, called him, all of a sudden and raised my voice. I said, dude, where do you need to go? And he's like, just a little further. And I said, no, I need you to tell me where you need to go. And he wasn't answering me, Cosmo. And I just said, I reached over, I undid his seatbelt for him, and I said, you need to get out. And he's like looking at me, like, really? And I'm thinking, yeah, really. You need to get out, like right now. And he didn't say anything, and he swung his legs outside the door and he stepped out, and I just shut the door and I accelerated and I got on my map and figured out where I was, and I found my way back. And I thought, oh, sorry, I left out the best part. When I was confronting him like that, I think I said something like, what's going on, dude? And he looks right at me. He locked eyeballs with me and he goes, can you find a pool of water and drown me? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, what? Can you find a pool of water and drown me? He said. And it was raining out. And that's when I reached over and undid his seatbelt and I said, get out. I said, you need to get out right now. And he got out in the middle of the rain and I shut the door and off I went. I was like, whoa. So anyways, Cosmo, I was telling a bizarre story. You missed out on the entertainment last night. Um, yeah, I can find the door and throw you out. Yeah, that was the first time. Well, I've picked up hitchhikers, back in the day. As you know, Josh, at one time well, you're a little younger than I am, but there was a point where you could put your thumb out, and ride down to the beach if you needed one. Um, and I remember being on vacation, going from San Diego to New Jersey, for example. And it wasn't vacation. I was moving the car from California to New Jersey. And there was a kid out in the middle of Nebraska, and he's hitching a ride. He's got an Australian accent, and he's thumbing on an on ramp, and he's going down to Tennessee. I was in Kentucky. Sorry. I was up in Kentucky, and I was heading south and catching another highway to go somewhere. I think I was going to Kansas. And I could give him a short ride south in the direction that he was going. So I picked him up, and he slept the whole time he was in the car, so that wasn't an issue. So I've had good experiences with hitchhikers, but that guy was a first. Can you find a pool of water and drown me? And I'm like, okay, time to go. Yeah, California. That was back in the 70s when I was growing up with my older brother. And I was tagging along with my older brother a lot, and he would say, "Come on, Gary," and I'd just follow what he's doing. And I see him with his thumb outside. I'm probably only 11 years old, 12 years old with my older brother who's 15, and he's thumbing down to the beach. Oh no, Cosmo, you're not too young. Um, how old are you, Cosmo? It's okay. Aiden, who just came in, he's only, how old are you, Aiden? 17? And Sal, above, is 20. Cosmo, I think I know your profile there. Oh, what do you mean? You're not too young. You can just be our young. That's the age of my son right behind me. He's 19. Yeah, there you go. As a matter of fact, Josh has teenagers for kids, so a little bit younger than you guys. All right, Aiden. All right, bro. Yes, I know, Josh. my my eldest son can be my youngest son's dad. I was the same age as my eldest son when I had a 19-year-old. I was 21 years old when I had him. 22 actually. And now he's 40. Yeah. Well, he'll be 40 in November. You can call me Dick. No, no, no. I didn't. Come on, Cosmo. It's not Dick. That's okay. There's a Filipino live streamer, and he was, he's a host of the live stream, and he couldn't prevent himself from saying Dick every time he referred to me. And he had one of those sound cards, with laughter and the audience clapping and all that. And he was in stitches. We were in tears every time he said it. Everybody was going nuts. Mason, Mason, what's up, Mason? Hey, who do you got there in your profile picture? Is that you playing ball? Ah, it is. And is that uh, what is that? Is that high school or college ball or little league, or I can't tell how old you are there in that picture. Well, I played little baseball when I was younger, and my grandson, he's currently playing. His dad's molding him into a ball player. Ah, wait, I'm in 14U. Is that your age group, travel ball? Middle school. Okay, okay. Yeah, well, just a couple years older than my grandson. Plays cricket. They play cricket up there? Or is this an online friend, Sal? Gotcha. You're 19. Oh, really? Well, it was. Oh, it's my birthday today, guys. I just realized, wait a minute, it's still my birthday. I'm officially another year older. I can officially collect Social Security now. Happy birthday to you. Come on, guys, sing it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Here, you got to post these symbols here as you're singing it. You got to post those. There you go. Officially, 1 hour ago, I was born at 10 p.m. August 19th, 1962. So 62 plus 62 equals 2024. Woohoo! Here, I don't have a birthday uh, music on my list. Hey, Jordan, hold on a second. Jordan, can you find a happy birthday music to upload? Happy birthday song. Can you see if you can find a free version? He's on his laptop, so I figured he can do it a lot better than I can. There you go, Cosmo. He's got it right. Happy birthday, dear Dick. There's Dick again. Now you're going to get me laughing. Happy birthday to you. Here, we got to post it. We got to rub it in there. Wait, no. And he even extended the I. Happy birthday, dear Dick. Happy birthday to you. My son's searching for a free happy birthday. What do they call it again? What's the little short song called? A GIF? No, a TIFF? A GIF? A GIF, I think. Or no, is that an MP3? I don't know. Whatever the short little clip is. Yeah, GIF. Or is that only video? I thought a GIF is only like a movie. But what's a short? Is it a music GIF? Do they call them that? An audio GIF? An audio something. Maybe it is a GIF. So I was at the store yesterday. I woke up with sore ribs. Damn, 45 is kicking my butt. No, not yet, Josh. You're only 45. uh, do you smoke, Josh? For, as you said that, that's what came to my mind. I wonder if he smokes. That'll kill you. That'll hurt your ribs eventually. No, you don't. Oh, okay. How about chew? Are you one of those lip chewers? That's a favorite military pastime. And that was rampant. Whenever the truck would come by for all the high speed, uh, pokey bait, the modern Western amenities, chips and snacks and cigarettes. Well, chew was a big commodity over there in Iraq. Jose, what's going on, Jose? Oh, in Afghanistan, you did. Yeah. You tried chew? Yeah, I think I did too. And I couldn't keep it from going down my throat. That was pretty nasty. Yeah, I could imagine smoking. Um, like I said, I did it just through out of sheer boredom. Although, as a kid and with my peers and so on, we had our little stints with cigarettes and, trying those. Smoking my best friend's dad's Camel non-filter. OMG, what a first cigarette to try. Oh my gosh. Camel non-filters. Sneaking in his garage behind the mattresses, we would have a little fort back there. We were just like 10, 11 years old, and we're stealing his dad's Camel non-filters and trying to smoke those things. Oh my gosh. Speaking of military, dad was a Green Beret. And gosh, that guy was hardcore. I got to admit, he was so strict with Chris. That was his son, my best friend, Chris. But snipers would tell us, don't smoke at night. Yeah, that's obvious reason. Right, right, right. Um, but his dad was an expert, a marksman, whatever, and he had a bow and arrow. True story. I used to go over to his house frequently and visit just down the street from me, where I grew up in San Diego, and he had not a compound bow, just a standard bow, and a arrow that he took the tip off of, and he padded it like very briefly padded arrow tip, and he would shoot stray cats off of his fence top from his sliding glass door in his living room. And then he would have Chris go and retrieve the arrow in the neighbor's backyard because he had a cat named Whitey. It was a real pretty Persian cat or something. Not Persian. It was a white fluffy cat with two colored eyes. One was green and the other was blue or whatever. And they were protecting that cat, so they kept stray cats away from Whitey. And his dad did that with his bow and arrow out the back sliding glass door. Um, James, um, as well as being a shooter, with a long rifle, and he had a pretty gnarly scar that was in his back and through his front rib cage, through and through his torso. And he said it was like a bayonet wound, and I don't know what conflict he was in or if that was even a true story, but I saw the scar. I mean, I physically saw his scar, and it was through and through his torso. It was in the front and then out his back. And I was like, holy crap, what did that, what? It looked like, if he was stuck with a long, like, bayonet or a samurai sword or something that would go through and through, or maybe he was hit by a bullet. But I remember him showing us that, and he claimed that was from his military experience. So it's probably a bullet. So, but unfortunately, he was a heavy drinker. He used to drink openly before and while he drove, and he used to transport me and Chris with his bottle of whiskey under the seat of his '69 Mustang, beautiful soft top Mustang. And yeah, he used to keep it down on the floorboard. And before he took off, he would reach under there, pull out the paper sack, uncap it, take a swig, put the cap back on, and then stuff it back underneath his driver's seat. With me, visually observing this, and then he'd take off and drive us to where we were going. Aileen, ¿Cómo está, Aileen? Aileen from the Philippines. Musta. Magandang umaga, buntag, aga. I said good morning in 3 different dialects. Well, maayong is Bisaya. Maayong aga or maayong buntag. That's Tagalog. I mean, sorry, Ilonggo and Bisaya. And magandang umaga is Tagalog. That's the main language of the Philippines. The main dialect, I should say. Aileen, I forget what part of the Philippines you're from. You're not the one in Surigao from last night. Who was that, guys? Do you remember? Oh, I do see you, Jose. I didn't forget about you. Talk to me, bro. What's new? Are you Bisaya? Bisaya ka, Eileen? Bisaya ka? Or Tagalog? Aileen, are you there? Ah, Mindanao. I was just going to ask you, taga-asa sa Bisaya? And Mindanao, taga-asa sa Mindanao? Let me guess. CDO. Um, Jensen. Iligan. Where are you from? Ayo, maayong hapon, diha guapa. Eileen. That's hello, hello there. Good morning to you, Eileen. General Santos City. Ah, Sarangani province, by any chance? I remember, guys, I was telling you about my elderly friend, the 84, he's 85, going to be 85, that went to the Philippines with me. He is currently married to a Filipina in General Santos City right now, Eileen. My Lolo friend is down in, oh my goodness, Eileen. He's not in Sarangani, he's in the city, to his new asawa, his new wife, married just recently, within 4 months ago. Yep, he married a 36-year-old Filipina down in General Santos City, or Jensen for short. Yep. Tinood, Eileen. Really? Yep. He's a retired firefighter, um, captain, or whatever his rank was. Chief, I believe, a fire chief. He's from where I'm living now. He's from South Jersey, New Jersey, USA. Yeah, he originally met a lady online who was also from General Santos City, although she lived in the province, in Sarangani province. He went to the Philippines with me and three more people, and we took a 3 week vacation from Manila to Cebu. And he met her. She flew to Manila and met him, but their relationship did not. She had a change of mind, and she decided not to pursue the relationship. So after that, because of that visit, he did go back to see her in Sarangani province. While he was in General Santos City, he met a British man who was married to another Filipina, and I think they were at the market when he met this British man. Because of that contact with the guy from the UK, they stayed in touch via the messenger. And after he separated from this girl in Sarangani, the British man said, "Hey, my wife, my asawa, has a friend. Would you like to meet her?" And he's like, "Okay." So he hooked up Lolo, Grandpa, with this other Filipina, and that's who he's married to today. He ended up, in a long distance relationship with this second Filipina, and they talked for like 2 years. And then I would help him here in the United States purchase tickets because he wasn't very computer savvy. And I would help him and give him a little bit of advice about, the Philippines and so on. And we even offered to travel there with him to help him navigate and stay safe. But he did it by himself, and now he's married to her down in General Santos City. Yep, today. His biggest reason for doing that, we talked a lot. We used to drink coffee every morning. I would go to his house 3 miles over there, and I would visit him most every morning. After I drop off my son at school, I would go right across the street from the school, and I would wake him up, and we would sit in his kitchen and have coffee. So I talked to him a lot, and I asked him, or he told me, "Gary, it sucks to be alone." Even at 85 years old, he's still a man, and he was married for 54 years. His wife died in 2015, and he just told me, being alone is for the birds. And he's a man like you and me, Josh, and he just didn't want to be alone anymore. So his quest was to find a girl, a woman, and and he had a dream of. Let me back up. He had four girls. He had four girls. They're like my age. As a matter of fact, welcome back. So, um, Lolo is the same age as my dad. Well, my dad died already, but he was born the same year as my dad was. So he's literally my dad's age, and I could be his son. But he never had a boy. He had four girls. Yeah. And his dream is to continue his last name because that's how last names are, are perpetuated, or what's the word in the vegetable or the plant industry? Yeah. Anyways, and is by the man's last name. Well, he didn't have any boys, and he doesn't have any brothers. So when Lincoln, that's his name, when Lolo Link dies, that's the end of his lineage. So his dream is to have a boy, was to have a boy. When he met me, we used to joke. He said, "Well, you're my son now," and I say, "Well, my dad died. You're my dad." So he was born the same year as my dad. So we had a real, close connection, and he was my fishing partner, and et cetera, et cetera. So when he told me, he wanted a lady, before he died, and I had, some connections with the Filipino community. I plugged him in with, I forget how I did it, but with somebody. And then that led to, one after the other. And he was shopping, looking for a lady. Well, anyways, I was going to say his dream of having a boy was still a dream, even at his age, at 80 years old. And you think, 80-year-olds can't have kids. Oh, why not? So he said he hopes to live till he's 100 years old. And if anybody's going to live to 100 years old, he's going to live to 100 because he's in incredible shape. Josh, he still does 10 push-ups. They're modified push-ups. He still tries to do 10 push-ups every morning. He does modified crunches, and he walks like 2 miles. And he walked for 3 weeks in the Philippines with a backpack on his back. And I just used to say, I hope I'm that way when I'm 80 years old. It is. You got to see him. He's got no hair. He doesn't grow hair anymore. He just keeps it shaved, and he's just hardcore. He really is. He looks like it. You can see he stands upright. He, he's just good to go. And so his dream was to become a father before he died and have a boy. Now, who's to say he's going to have a boy? Only God knows that. But he used to kid around and say, well, I'm going to have fun trying. And it's 80 plus year old saying that. And I used to laugh with him. I said, hoorah. So that's why he married a woman that is of childbearing age. Think about it. He can't marry a 50-year-old, so he has to marry somebody that is of childbearing age. Yeah. And so, and people, his daughters, oh my gosh, when they heard about that, they were looking at me and frowning at me and saying, why are you helping my dad do this? And I'm like, I understood, they're just being protective. And then he went to the Philippines with me, and and the rest is history, and he finally found a lady, and she decided to go through with it, and he flew back there, and they got married. Yeah. But you're broke. Yeah. So it was they. I'm still kind of feeling the friction being involved with him during that whole process, and his daughters. Some of his daughters think I'm a bad guy, and there's one of the four daughters that actually is supportive. And I even got people from my church approaching me, and so on and so forth about Link, and so yeah, exactly. Well, you can say that. Can you imagine saying that though, Josh, to his daughters? Just let the man live. And being one guy against four women my age. Well, they're a little bit younger than I am. They're in their late 50s, but yeah. Yeah, we went through it all, Josh. All of the what ifs and what are you doing, and 80 year olds aren't supposed to do that, and I'm thinking, what do you mean they're not supposed to do that? He's a man. He's a boy. He'll always be one. What the why should he be on the porch on a swing or in a nursing home? Poor guy. He sits there and sleeps on his own. I wake him up every morning. He's an elderly man in his giant home, and he's all alone in that 3,000 square foot and 3 acres of land that he lives on. And I mean, I was his companionship, you know, and I don't do justice for what he's looking for. He wants someone to lay next to in bed at night. Yeah, it's a poor guy. So I'm happy for him. And at the same time, he is going to change another person's life. We talked about it all. His pension, the guy's a millionaire. Really, he retired a millionaire. And we talked about that. And he said, when I die, my pension, what happens to a pension, guys? Josh? The state absorbs it. It's not something you can will to your family. A pension, the only thing a pension can be willed to is your spouse. So in order for anybody to benefit from his pension, that's right, he's got to get married. And that was a no-brainer at that point. I said, well, then get married, Link. Change somebody else's life. You get to sign what percent of your pension goes to your spouse if something happens to you. Usually 50%. So, and now this lady that he married, she's set. She's set for life. And her children. If they don't have kids, well, of course, we talked about this too. Encourage her to get remarried. Why would a 30, 40-year-old stay single, after losing, your 85, 100-year-old husband? Whatever she wants to do. But in other words, she's set for the rest of her life. Somebody, if not her, who else? The state gets the money. Her family doesn't get the money. And unfortunately and sadly, that kind of came into the picture too. That the money he's spending on this lady in the Philippines, could be going elsewhere, i.e., his children and his. And I used to talk to Link about that, and he'd say, "They got their money. Don't worry about my kids. They're set. They shouldn't even be. They shouldn't even be discussing that side of it." He says, "I've given him too much money." So it's like, so now what? And I said, "Well, it looks like it's time for you to find somebody," and he did. Fine. So. So do I miss him? Heck yeah, I miss him. I don't have anybody to talk to in the morning. But I'm glad he finally found somebody. What, there's people in the nursing home partying like the Clintons? Yeah. American Death Camp. I saw you, bro. Yeah, so unfortunately, or unfortunately, yet fortunately, I was kind of part of that. I was in pretty deep during that time, of him finding somebody, because I was around him all the time. So whenever, his daughters called him, I was more than often, at his side with him. And then they would, hear, or he would mention me, and they would, so that was always my name popping up whenever their dad was involved in something. We went fishing together. We got Airbnbs together, and rented everything from a hotel room to a small trailer that some private owner renovated. That was their emphasis, was restoring old 1950s trailers, those old silver bullet trailers, and they turned them into Airbnbs in their backyard. So we rented those once on a fishing tournament that I went to. So he accompanied me, and we would drink coffee just like this. We'd drink our cup of coffee and talk about the Bible over a wood stove in an old Airbnb. It was like so cool. I'd go out in the backyard of the woods, collect wood, get a nice pile for the next morning, and then wake up before him and get the wood stove nice and warm. And he'd come out to that, and he used to rub his hands over the wood stove, and I'd have a cup of coffee for him, and we'd be good to go. No internet, because we were out in the boonies, and we sit there. Zonez, Musta, welcome back. That's Zonez. You're the one in Sirgao. I was just talking about you. I was trying to remember who's the one in Sirgao. Huh? Sirgao? Which one? Sirgao or what's the other one? Huh? Siargao. Yeah. You see, my wife's yelling over there. Why do you want to go there? What's it known for? The beach? You hear that, Zones? Which one? The one by Leyte? The top of Mindanao? Or, well, there's two of them. There's Surigao, and then there's Siargao, and then there's Surigao. Okay, don't get mad. There's Siargao and there's Surigao. You see? Well, which one do you want to go to? Siargao? Which spell it? Oh, Siargao. Okay, you see, she's correcting me. Yeah, Siargao and Surigao are different. Yes, I know. Surigao, where you're from, Zonaz, is the top northeastern tip of Mindanao. Below, what's the name of the city that got hit hard by the typhoon back in 2000? What year was that? got devastated by typhoon. What was that, Zones? That really bad typhoon that came through and knocked down those entire palm groves. Looked like an atom bomb hit that place. What's the name of that part of the Philippines? Okay, so that's the beach you want to go to, honey. You want to go to Siargao, correct, honey? Siargao? Yeah, yeah. Odette, that's it. Did you see the videos from, or you were living there at the time? Oh my Lord. Yeah, Typhoon Odette. Yeah, wasn't there two names? There was an English name and another name, but I believe Odette was the one. What part of the Philippines did that hit hard? That was starts with an S. I think. Um, they speak Waray Waray there. What is that city in the Philippines? Waray Waray is another dialect, guys. How come I can't think of the city? Zones, help me. I can't think. Anyhow, my asawa wants to go to the beaches in Siargao. Just to, if you guys that are not Filipinos in the room, the Philippines is like the center of the Philippines is 10 degrees above the equator. So, I mean, we're talking pretty much on the equator, up the band of going around the center of the earth. And so it is, it's as tropical as you can get. It's got, highest humidity and highest heat year round. It's just never, it's always hot in the Philippines. There are some cooler areas in some parts of the mountains. But that's not the rule. That's the exception. Oh, really? Siargao is capital city of surfing. Ah, one. It's a big surfing destination. Huh? Say that again. What's Assam? Huh? What is that? What? AFAM. Yeah, what's Assam? AF. Oh, Afam. What's that? What's Afam? Zones? AFAM. Afam. My wife's yelling Afam. I think she's saying Assam. Afam. What's Afam? She says there's a lot of Afam in Siargao. Siargao. What in the world is Afam? What is that? My wife is from Iloilo, by the way, Zones. And oh wait, I think you know already. Um, Aideen, my asawa is from Iloilo. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I wonder. I haven't heard any background of shark fishing in. I would imagine there are, but I haven't really heard much about sharks. Even in the fish market, there's a lot of, as you can imagine, any archipelago in the world is usually got some kind of fishing, you know, history. And yeah, I mean, I eat endless seafood when I'm there. Uh, Prawn, shrimp that look like they're been nuclearized. They're humongous. There's shrimp that look like mini lobsters, and they're called giant prawn, and they raise them on farms. And I've been to these prawn farms, and they raise them there. They feed them and grow them. And I had fresh giant prawns right there on the spot, up elevated up in underneath a palm thatched, they call them nipa hut. And it was incredible. This giant spread on banana leaves, full of giant prawn and fish and endless food and rice. But shark, I don't remember, even in the fish markets, I don't see a lot of shark. I wonder why. Maybe it's there and I'm just not looking for it. Oh, really? There's a bridge where there are many foreigners who meet Filipinos. What do they call it? The bridge? They have one of those in China. Have you heard about that bridge in China where people go to meet long lost loved ones? Those that have been separated from family, through adoption, and they go to this bridge to hopefully reunite. Have you ever seen that video? But now they have one in the Philippines, but they go there to meet. Men and women go there to meet. Okay, what is AFAM? Oh, there, you're telling me there. AFAM is a place over there in the Dapa capital municipality of Siargao. Man, meaning foreigner, meeting in Manila. Oh. FAM, meaning foreigner, arrive in Manila. Oh, FAM. Yeah, I was saying before, the Philippines is renowned for shortcuts and abbreviations. And many of their expressions and words are abbreviations. And they love to copy, like imitate what they hear. Here's an example. And it's got to be another example because I figured it out when I, shortly after I heard the expression and they told me what the meaning was. And I thought about it and I said, it has to be this. And I'm going to post it. And this expression here is, with an exclamation point, is high five. When someone says up here, that they'll hold out their hand and it's like you don't even need to know what it means. You already know the person is asking you to high five them. So they'll hold out their hand up high and they say up here. Well, think about what I just said. What does that say in English? What does that sound? Not the word, but what does that word sound like in English? Up here. That's it. Up here. That's it. It has to be. I mean, when I heard that, I went, oh, I know why they say that. But they spell it phonetically because they're using the Spanish vowels. Their dialect is influenced by the Spaniards when Magellan brought the Spanish Armada over there. And so their vowels are a, e, I, o, u. A for A, e for E, the E sound for the letter I, O for O, and U for U. A, E, I, O, U. So appear or appear is in their letters A, P, I, R. Appear. You see? So it's up here. And so and that makes sense. They're very good at copying what they're hearing, and they use a lot of phonetics and abbreviations. They shortcuts they call them. And yeah, it's perfect. So it's like, oh, that's an easy one to remember up here in world history. No, I got interested, of course, being married, to my asawa. I eventually, what got me more interested in your history, Zonaz, is live streaming. I started getting involved in the live stream and talking to, I was visiting Filipino live streamers. I mean, 99% of the time. And I'm the foreigner in the chat. And the expression dugo ilong is your nose, dugo is blood. So I'm the one with the bloody nose, because I can't understand anybody that's speaking Tagalog, whether in chat or the host speaking. So I started asking people. My background is rock climbing and mountaineering. So navigation is automatic in that circle. So whenever I travel, I need to know which way is north, south, east, and west. And I was brought up, in the Boy Scouts and eventually in the military. And so you're constantly learning orientation or navigation. So in my brain, I'm always thinking of where I'm at. Where am I? What's my what's my longitude, what's my latitude? Which way is north, which way is south, which way is east, which way is west? So when I meet people, you will hear me ask them, saan ka nakatira sa Panas? So in other words, where do you live in the Philippines? And what part? And then I look on the map and I want to see, oh, you live over there. Okay. So because of that, tapos, meaning, and then I started reading about Ilocos Norte, Manila, the different regions of the Philippines. My wife's hometown, Iloilo, Mindanao, Gensan, General Santo, Cagayan de Oro, Misamis Occidental, Oriental, Ozamis City, Zamboanga, learning about all of it, Chavacano, Waray Waray, and all those different, things about the Philippines. And so that, because of live stream, is why. And then I learned about the different wars. And if you go to the Washington D.C. Memorial here in the United States, you go down to the Lincoln Memorial, and they have all the war, the famous war locations, including the Philippines. They've got them all down there. They've got Butuan, and they've got Leyte, and they've got all of those conflicts, memorials down at Washington, D.C. here in America. It's pretty cool. Now that I'm married to a Filipino, I'm seeing these memorials down at the Washington, D.C. monument. The Bataan Death March, and maybe that's what I'm thinking. Not Butuan, but Bataan, I'm thinking. And then I learned the Filipinos are all over the world. They're not just in the Philippines. I told you last time, they're all over the world working. Middle East, Australia, America, Russia, South America, etc., all over. Have you ever been to the Philippines, Josh? In doing any training with the Filipinos over there? This up here? Oh my goodness. I just read what you said. This up here? What? I haven't thought about that, Josh. Uh, yeah, navigation, Josh. I mean, I love it. Did you ever do any sailing? Josh, if you want, if have you ever done any, you have to have had being with the Navy. No, 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 that's right. You're not a Marine. You're Army. But any marine navigation? Oh, dude, I get goosebumps when I think of that. I mean, that is like the ultimate to be able to navigate the world because you know how to not only navigate on land but how to navigate on the ocean. And I never got into the old school, navigating by the stars using sextants and so on. But I started learning about marine charts and dead reckoning and shooting waypoints and, using just kind of getting up to speed on GPS and radio navigation. And I started to learn, but then my friend died and I kind of lost touch with that. But that was like, oh, my heart started to grow when I started being a deckhand on his sailboat and he started teaching me and I started doing the navigation and leave that up to me. And then he'd check me and make sure I was okay before we committed to something. And then we'd start, heading towards I loved it. It's just, it's awesome to know how to get around when everybody else is lost. It's true. It comes in handy when you need to extricate, out of a situation, and you don't need to be there, and everyone gets sucked into call it a choke point. Even in the civilian world, I do it all the time. I'm always looking where I'm at and trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get out of this if something were to go down? When everybody else is just going to be sucked into the melee, and I can get the heck out of Dodge. Yeah. Well, then you're right in the same mindset. He was in the Navy for 20 years. He was he's the dang near pirate. I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, it's intriguing to watch those polyglots, those that know multiple languages. The one guy here, the Jewish kid here in Brooklyn, New York, his screen name is Shauma NYC. Shauma is a Chinese name for his name, and then New York City NYC. He knows like 60 languages, and he's constantly studying. And now his channel is gigantic, millions of subscribers, and he's traveling the world now with his revenue, doing super well. He's learning indigenous languages that are like almost extinct. And he goes to that part of the world and he starts speaking to these tribes in their dialect. And they're like, what? Who are you? You're just a white god and you're speaking our language. Yeah, he's married to a Chinese girl, his wife and his kids. He was just in Beijing, I think. He went back where he actually studied. That's his most proficient language is Chinese or Mandarin. He speaks fluently in Mandarin. Yeah, I know. Well, he did you see his one video? He went to South America and visited a tribe that was, had a history of headhunting, at least way back in, their history. But they're still alive and they're still trying to survive and get out their message so that the forest, their forests aren't depleted. so they can continue their way of life. Yeah, he met up with them and about killed their photographer and the guy that was helping him. He's all overweight, and they were running out in the forest trying to keep up with these tribal guys with their blowguns. And at the same time, he's speaking their language with them. They were, and they're in their their little uh, wraps around their genitals, that contain their package, and they actually made one for him, and it wouldn't fit him. Did you see that one? It was hilarious. They were laughing at him because they had to make one special for him because he wasn't circumcised or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's who he ended up spending some time with, except they were gentle, and they ended up hunting for monkeys, and they were running around the forest shooting blow darts at these monkeys. Yeah, and they almost killed the one of the photographers. They almost beat him to death with heat stroke. The guy, poor guy, he's overweight. He shouldn't have been out there in the first place, but he tried to stay up with them, and he about suffered consequences. He went to Africa and spoke with the what part of, they were here in, they were in America at the Wild Animal Park, the San Diego Wild Animal Park in San Diego. The um, gosh, they did like they had actually. I felt bad for them. This Wild Animal Park, which is basically a zoo that accommodates these plain animals like cheetahs and lions and so on. Uh, they had a village, African tribal people come over, and they had a an actual section of the park that displayed this African tribe. And I felt bad. I like, gosh, here they are, people basically in a zoo instead of an animal. It was called the what are the people that jump super high? They bounce and jump. That tribe. The anyways, uh, this kid from Brooklyn learned their language, and he went over there to Africa and started speaking in their language, and the kids, the teenagers, were just laughing. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. It was just incredible too. Oh, I lost my. Hold on a second. Did I just lose my battery, or is my focus just not set? Hold on a second. What happened? No, my light's still on. Give me a second. Okay, it's just it was the autofocus. Okay, let's see here. Um, there we go. Oh, now it's out of focus. Come on. Come on. Come on. Wait, what's going on here? There it is. Yeah, now you see them. Now you see me. Now you don't. Okay. It's that it's that it's that virtual background that is kind of playing with my head here. Okay, I'll just leave it. Leave it. What if it's not broke, don't touch it. So who's still here? Raise your hands. Sorry if I'm not entertaining everybody. Um, Josh, you're still here. How about Sal? Are you still hanging out? Zonaz? And anybody else? Girl in the mirror, she's in the background. Um, yeah, come on, whoever's still watching. So, Zonaz, you have children? How old are they, if you do? Eileen, there you are. You're still here. One son. How old is your son? My youngest is 19. He's back there. Oh, he's 16. Well, Josh has teenagers. He's got three. Did you say three girls, Josh? I think they're all 14, 15-ish. Eileen, awesome. Eileen, where are you again? Did you tell me? Saan ka? Tira? Sa Pinas? Oh, that's right. Two girls, two boys. You did say four last night. That's right, right. 17, 16, 10, and 8. Awesome. Oh, you're in General Santos City also. Well, Eileen, do you know Zonez already? Are you guys close to each other? Wait, no, Zonez is in Surigao. That's right. Okay. I'm sorry, Eileen. You're General Santos. Zonez is Surigao. Why did I, gosh, why did I mix that up? Okay, it's Eileen. Sorry, Eileen. How about American Death Camp? Are you still here? Oh, it's Stone Fox. Yeah, Stone Fox. Are you still there? Okay, okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I was scrolling back and reminding myself who is where. Yeah, where Pacquiao's from. Yep, I know Mr. Pacquiao. Is General Santos City considered a rich city? Why? Because of the fishing? Or because Pacquiao lives there? Oh, I think I know. Because Pacquiao lives there. Rich city. You know, that it kind of is true. Kind of sad. In the Philippines, that makes sense. Whatever family has a lot of money can influence that city, right? Because of Pacquiao, right? Well, that makes sense because marlin fishing, Doc. No, but I have an invite. Josh, who knows? Maybe you can find the time to do this. But I've asked my brother, and he is all for it. But unfortunately, his he doesn't have the time. He's got the money, but he doesn't have the time right now in the point of his life where he's kind of tied up and's got a lot of responsibilities, his wife and so on, and grandkids. But he's a big fisherman, and I've got, I became one eventually, and I started watching YouTube, and I learned about an American, New York. I think he was a stockbroker before he quit that circle, and he started his own business, and he started his own YouTube channel, and now he's a guide down in Panama, Central America, in the town of Los Busos, and the name of his resort is Los Busos Resort. The nickname for that place is Land of Giants because of its giant fishing, saltwater fishing in Panama, Central America. And they've got a package right now that is, I don't know what if it went up because of, the latest, I'm sure flights are more expensive, but the package that I researched is more than affordable. And I asked my brother if he was interested, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm all over that," but he's not able to commit the time. And it's basically a week, 5 days of saltwater fishing from kayaks, but they're sit on top, ocean kayaks, and it's guided by pangas, which are whalers, motorboats, outboard motorboats, two of them, and it's guided by guides, and they do everything for you. You basically need to just bring yourself and money for the tackle. They actually get a list of the tackle that they recommend to purchase, and they've got a bait shop there, and you do all the purchase there. I got you, Josh, and they supply the kayak, the poles, PFDs, radios. They provide food and lodging. They cater to you. They got professional chefs from all over the world that prepare breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you want to, you can berth with the other, fishermen. But you can also purchase accommodations on your own, and that's extra. But if you choose their package, you can fish for an entire week of guided fishing in Central America down in Panama for $2,000. That's including room, board, food, and fishing for $2,000 for 5 days. You need to buy the air ticket there and back. But I was like, oh my gosh, accommodations, food, and fishing for 5 full days. So I called my brother. I'm like, bro, we got to do this. So I'll talk to you more about that later. I'll give you the information, and hey, who knows, if you're up for something like that, I'll buddy up with anybody and head down there and do that. That would be awesome. Good night, Josh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to live stream until 2 in the morning. So that's an hour and 50 more minutes. And that'll be my max tonight. I've been staying up too late lately. And if you're still tuning in, Josh, look up use these search words on YouTube. Speaking of marlin, and this guiding service down in Los Busos has experienced this, and they've got an incredible YouTube video on this event, and the guy did an incredible job videoing the footage, and the entire day, and it is jaw-dropping. Search those words, and you will see something that is unbelievable. Really, really cool. One of the guides, an American, hooks into a 500-pound marlin, and he gets towed out to sea for 6 hours, and he lands this thing. It's incredible. And apparently he's caught one now closer to 600 pounds. The same guy, the same guide, by kayak. Crazy. All right, let me think of a medical call that I ran on. That is memorable. Let me think a bit. All right, Josh. As you were, bro. All right, Zonez. Thank you, dear, for coming back and spending time with me and sharing your Filipino history. Locations, etc. Maraming salamat. And your response, Zonez, wasapayan, right? Woohoo! Where's my sound card? Yay! Ingat. Yep, wasapayan. Walay sapayan. The Ilonggo use Waisapayan also. So let me think. What other story can I remember? I'm thinking of one right now. Maybe not too interesting, but maybe it is for some listeners. I was working in Oregon. I relocated. I moved from San Diego up to Oregon because I found a job up there. I mentioned before I lived up in Washington County, Oregon, between 1996 and 1998. And I was working the night shift with my partner, Don. And he was I've mentioned him before, just a really in shape triathlete. He was like a Nordic kind of a man, blonde, super blonde, white hair, wore glasses. He stood about 6 feet 2 inches. He had legs like tree trunks. He cycled, he swam, he ran, and he cross country skied. I went cross country skiing with him a few times, and he was just unstoppable. Well, he was kind of a goofy kind of guy, but he was my partner, and we went on a standard motor vehicle accident. I mean, motor vehicle accidents can be minor motor vehicle accidents, or they can be major, super involved accidents. So, but we don't know all of the time what we're going to or what we're going to see until we get there. So this was we're normally given a location or where the accident is, and apparently this car was on the surface street. It's the city streets, and there was a highway or interstate down below. You know, the high speed traffic down below, and the car lost control and went off the bridge down the drop and landed down on the interstate. So that's a pretty significant mechanism, you know, when a vehicle falls and makes contact with the ground. So we get there and the car is upright on its wheels, and we went down the on-ramp to get to it, and it was like already on the side of the road and damaged. And there was a driver, a male driver, and he was unconscious. It didn't look like there was too much significant damage to the vehicle, but whatever mechanism the car went through, whether it landed, whether it rolled or what, I don't remember, but he was unconscious. And so more than likely he had a head injury, and we couldn't see, you know, what, it doesn't matter what caused it. It's the fact that he's unconscious, and now we need to make sure he's breathing. He has a secure airway, meaning he has a way for the air to get into his lungs. His mouth is open or his nose is open, and he doesn't have any obvious bleeding. And then we pretty much do a quick package and a transport to the hospital, to a trauma center. And we had just been to some continuing education recently to use a new drug where we could paralyze somebody, meaning we could take away their ability to have any muscle control in their body from their head to their toes. If I gave you this drug, 1 minute you would be able to move your fingers and your arms and your legs and your eyes and your head and all the muscles in your body and your toes. But as soon as seconds after I give you the medication, all of that ability stops. Even your breathing, the muscle, your diaphragm is a muscle located in your upper abdomen, your lower chest. It divides your chest from your abdomen cavity, your diaphragm. It takes away that muscle control. So you're not even able to breathe. And it sounds scary, and it is scary. It's a very powerful, dangerous drug, you know, to take away. Why would you want to take away that from somebody? Why would you take away their ability to breathe, or their ability to speak, or their ability to move, their ability to blink their eyes? It all goes away. It just paralyzes you from your head to your toe. Why would you do that to somebody, right? Well, people that are unconscious, that have like a brain injury, whether it's from trauma or whether it's from bleeding or whether it's from a medication, whatever the reason, they still have muscle control. They still have the ability to move their muscles. For instance, here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus. Their ability to open and close their mouth, their ability to bite with their teeth. They can still do that. Even if you're unconscious, if I put like a spoon in your mouth, your natural reaction is to bite down on it or to spit it out, to use your tongue to, you know, to push out whatever's in your mouth. Well, unconscious people can do that. They don't know it because they're unconscious, but they still have muscle control. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with this focus here, and I'm struggling here. Give me one moment. See if I can fix this. Give me a moment here. I'm going to try to. Here we go. See if I can fix it. I don't know if that's any better. So you have somebody that's unconscious. This person in the vehicle, he was unconscious. And he was having, you could see, you can hear that he's having difficulty breathing. You know, we don't know why. It's probably because of his head injury. He probably has some kind of trauma to his head or a bleed because of the trauma inside of his brain. And that can, bleeding causes an increase in pressure in your brain. And when that happens, it starts to do some pretty weird things to a person's body. It can give them seizures. It can start moving their muscles in a really tight way. It can bend their arm up and you can't unbend it. You know, the pressure in the brain causes all kinds of weird electrical activity, malfunctions in the body. And so still struggling with this focus here. We decided that his airway needed to be taken control of. I need to control his airway instead of him. He's not doing a good job breathing by himself for whatever reason. And so in order to get into his mouth, to put a tube into his airway so that I can manually squeeze air and oxygen into his lungs and expand his lungs for him or help him, I have to get into his mouth to put this tube into his trachea, into his air tube. Well, as soon as I get near his mouth, he bites down with his teeth. And it's really dangerous, especially if I'm using my finger or if I put my hand anywhere near his mouth. You know, that's a dangerous proposition. So the answer to that is to paralyze his musculature, to take that ability to bite down away from him so I can access his mouth and his airway safely. And so here, I'm gonna take care of this issue once and for all. Bear with me while I perform my photography thing here. Stand by. Oops, I'm not going to be able to do it that way because I have my background, my virtual background activated here. Let me see if I can do it with my hand. If I can do this properly. Okay, come on, hand, focus. There it is. Okay. All right, let's see if that works. There we go. So that's why you would use a paralytic. We call that drug, it's called succinylcholine, on a patient. That's why we would elect to paralyze him, because he doesn't have a secure airway or he's not breathing adequately for whatever reason. So that's number one priority, is airway and their breathing. So we elected to paralyze him. So we have to now start an IV in his vein, and then we get the medication prepared, and then we push the medication. And that literally takes away their ability to move and breathe. So it's really important that we are ready to do this, because he was breathing before. Now I've pushed the medication and now he stops breathing. And so now it's imperative that you act relatively quickly and safely, and you access his mouth and you put this tube into his trachea in between his vocal cords, and then you secure it with a balloon that you inflate, and then you attach a bag to the end of the tube and you breathe for him. And that's what we did for him. And that was pretty much the call. Was we just secured his airway, we breathed for him, and then en route we package him up, we protect his spinal, his back, his neck and his back, put him on a board, put a cervical collar around his neck, and then we strap him down to the board and we continue breathing for him because he can't breathe on his own anymore. We've taken that ability away. And usually the drug lasts, I believe, if I remember correctly, like 10 minutes. And if we're after 10 minutes, he'll start to regain his ability to move. So you just give him another dose of it and you keep him paralyzed so that you can control his breathing. And also the side effect of this medication, one of the side effects is a slow heart rate. And I won't go into how or why, but that's one of the side effects. And so you have to keep an eye on that and make sure that if that happens, you either make a decision to increase his heart rate, or if his body is doing fine with that slow heart rate, then you can leave it alone. But he did get what we call bradycardic, that's a slow heart rate, en route to the hospital. So we have another medication called atropine, which increases the heart rate. And so we just kind of titrate, or we give it until we see the heart rate start to go back up a little bit. And then we check his blood pressure and make sure that that is okay. Because a heartbeat and a blood pressure, they go hand in hand. And if everything's good, then you leave him alone and you monitor him en route to the emergency room. And you call them before you get there, let them know what is coming and what your ETA is, and that's what we do. Then we drop them off to the hospital, and then they continue their care. And that's a typical emergency call. And it usually lasts less than an hour, sometimes 30 minutes or less, usually under an hour from beginning to end. And then we pack up and we switch places. If I was driving before and my partner was taking care of the patient or the navigator in the passenger seat, we just flip flop. And now I drive and he becomes, or vice versa. That way, one person doesn't do all the paperwork all day long, all shift. So yeah, that was the very first time I got to use, actually my partner also. We had just finished school, like less than a week before. And then we went to work and we got a call where we got to use the medication. It's always nice to see something work, like you learn in a classroom. Sometimes, a lot of times, it doesn't always work that way. But when it does work and you do get to help a patient, then, and you get to see him improve, then it's even better. Boy, I'm really struggling with this focus tonight, aren't I? A little better. So anybody still out there? It looks like only one person is in the room. Sal had to go. Zonaz had to leave. Josh needed to go to sleep. Eileen, are you there? Eileen. Now, Eileen, are you working? Is that why you came back in? Uh, you had to go and then you came back. Are you busy? Busy? Monday Night Live, all the way from New Jersey, USA. Oh, you know what? I could get a snack. What should I get for a snack? You know, we bought some of these Asian bananas, you know, the small ones, like they have in the Philippines. But for some reason, this batch is not a good batch. Part of the banana is nice and soft and sweet, and then the other part has like hard lumps in it, and you have to throw it away. Yeah, I'm peeling one right now, and it's the same way. Yeah, these bananas are bad. They're not something. The way they grew on the tree wasn't well, you know what? My lights outside, are they still on? I've got a security system in the house, and they're all tied into a uh, Hugh Phillips. Uh, what do you call it? Um, what's that little pad here in the house called? It's a whatever it's called. And I have, you know, Wi-Fi uh, ability to control all of the security lights outside, and it's I'm struggling to troubleshoot or figure out if the um, lights are behaving like they should, or are they being triggered, you know, outside like they're supposed to? Well, it looks like the neighbor's security light is on also. So more than likely, I'm just assuming something moved outside, whether it was a vehicle or a person or an animal, and triggered not only my lights, but the neighbor's light over there, their security light. So that's a good sign that it's fencing like it's supposed to. So I've got it set to stay on for 10 minutes. Maybe that's a little bit long, but I decided 10 minutes. Well, if something else comes by and triggers the sensor, it'll stay on for another 10 minutes. So that original 10 minutes gets extended to, you know, to the next 10-minute mark. And so but I don't know that because the light doesn't go off and on again. It just stays on. And I'll look at the clock somewhat, and then it'll be, if it's going on 15 minutes, I start to wonder, why aren't my lights turning off? Is it because something moved outside again? Or is it because something is malfunctioning? So I'm kind of struggling to determine, because I'm making some minor adjustments now and then on my, you know, on my setup. So as anal retentive as I am, maybe it's just being a guy with my toys. I'm, you know, I'm the one that troubleshoots the uh, those kind of things around the house, and my wife enjoys the, um, you know, the outcome of my of my work. But so I'm constantly making sure it's okay, so I don't get questioned. What's wrong with the lights outside? It's like, oh no, here we go again. What's going on with my lights? Why is it behaving that way? So that's what I'm doing right now. The lights are on, and I've got it set up pretty, or at least I think I have it set up pretty good to go. You know, hands free. But here I'm getting up again, going outside with the phone in my hand, checking the app. You see, it's in my hand. So it looks like something sensed the movement out there because the neighbor's security light is on also. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and wait, see what happens within 10 minutes and see if my lights go off. If they don't, we have a problem, Houston. Now I'm good old technology can be fun and effective, but at the same time, it can be uh, a pain, a hassle. I.e., I have a technician coming out to check the security cameras because I'm not able to review the past history on some of the cameras. And, I've paid a pretty penny for this setup, and I shouldn't have to be. I shouldn't be encountering these problems, but I am, and so there's a technician to come out and figure out what's going on. I can't. I'm not. I'm choosing not to investigate on my own, so I'll let them come out since that's what I'm paying them for. Yeah. On that note, I could review my cameras and see if a car did pull up and trigger my lights. Matter of fact, I can do that right now and see if that camera's history is working. For instance, my doorbell camera that shoots out at the front yard. But if I'm not mistaken, my doorbell camera is one of the cameras that is malfunctioning and is not giving me the ability to look back in history. Like right now, it's buffering and it'll eventually error and give me an error message saying playback DVR unavailable. Connection will need to be restored before you can view this camera's 24/7 video footage. And I've already done that multiple times. And the problem keeps reoccurring. So I'm not happy with that. It shouldn't be that way. Okay, here's another camera. I can go back and see when the light was off or how long this thing's been on. Okay, light's been on for some time, 12:32. There it goes. Okay, it was dim at 12:29. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. I think we have a problem, Houston. Yep, the lights have not gone off. Holy moly. I've had bright lights on for the last God knows how long. I'm all the way back to 11:56. 11:50. This is over an hour ago. And my lights have been... Okay, something's not right. I'm wondering if what I'm looking at is dim or is that bright? Let's see here. Maybe it is dim. If it is dim, then... Oh, I can see myself. That's a bright light. Oh my gosh, this bright light has been, oh, there's dim at 9:09. And then when I came out at 9:13, the lights came on bright. And you know what? They've been bright ever since. Oh no, I got a problem. They've been bright for hours. Okay. We got a problem. I had a feeling that was my worst fear, is that they've been on for 3 hours. Okay, time to turn them off manually, and I don't know why. That's the issue I've been dealing with here. The sensors are set so that they come on at sunrise, then, oh, wait a minute. When motion is detected, yeah, right. When motion is detected, they come on bright. And then the duration they stay on is for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, they return to the previous state, which is dim. I'm going to do that. And this is set for until sunrise tomorrow morning. So that's the backyard sensor. And I got 3 sensors around the house. From 7:49 till sunrise, the lights come on bright when motion is detected. And they stay on for 10 minutes, and then they go back to what they were before they turned on bright, before they were triggered. And then the last sensor is the backyard sensor. And it is set to be turn on bright when motion is detected between 7:49 p.m. and sunrise. And it stays on for 10 minutes. Wait a minute. Duration. 10 minutes. There it is. 10 minutes. You know what? I'm going to change it to 5. Let's change everything to 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, they return to their previous state. Done. 5 minutes. Okay. Done. Done. And save. Okay, now I got to do the other ones. Change it to 5 minutes. Duration. Let's change it to 5 minutes. Right? Done. 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 And save. That's the flag sensor. And now the garage sensor. I don't know if anybody's listening, but that's okay. I gotta speak to something or someone. Let's change it to 5 minutes. Done. And done. Oh, did I change it? 5 minutes. Bright lights. Done. Save. Oh, and you know what? I don't think I need 3 sensors because I found out that the one sensor can turn on the entire house. Every light that is controlled by this Philip sensor, by this Philip hub, can be controlled by one sensor. Well, I've got one sensor. Um, I've got one sensor out here in the front yard at the flagpole, and I got one sensor above the garage. And I really don't need both sensors. So I figured maybe that is what is happening. I don't know, but I'm just troubleshooting here. All right, I got everything changed. I'm going to there we go. Looks like my control was asleep. Let's see. Here we go. Backyard is set. Front yard is set. Okay, good. But I don't need to be, I can't be doing this manually every night. So I have to do something about that. Or it will stay bright and burn my electricity way too high. So, guys, I'm actually going to end this live stream. Girl in the mirror, if you're still there, I'm going to go ahead and call it an early night, and I'm going to do some little project, late night projects, like monitor my security or take down my security sensor outside, which is no biggie. No ladders involved. And then I'll be back Wednesday night, same time, 10 p.m. So I will see you guys as you were, always. Mabuhay, ciao, arrivederci. Bye, guys.